Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to your favorite podcast, The Axel Schurer Show. In case it's not your favorite podcast yet, we are working on it. Maybe after today's episode, what I'm bringing to you today, straight from Cape Town, I hope you enjoyed this beautiful view behind us, is a training I did the other day. It is called How to Go Viral in 2026. What I do in this training is I decode what it takes to build an audience in 2026 and also how to monetize it. I started my personal brand more than 7 years ago from scratch. I scaled it to $1 million personal brand. I don't gatekeep. I tell you exactly what you need to do to achieve the same thing, because my biggest driver is impact. My mission here with this podcast and in general with my work is to put money, to put impact, to put influence in the hands of good-hearted women and men like you behind the camera and everybody listening, watching. So that's what we do today. Before we get started, two things. One big favor, which is subscribe to the show so that you never miss an episode. It also helps us to invite the best guests possible. And I'm not stopping this podcast before we have Taylor Swift on the show. That's a scientific fact. Number two, at the end of the training, we have a pitch, but I think I want to pitch to you right now. You get the chance, this podcast family gets the chance to sit down with one of our coaches from my team, all qualified, to see where is your personal brand right now, where do you want it to be, what is the gap, and what needs to happen to close that gap. That's a session worth hundreds of euros. You get it for free. As a highly valued podcast member, just make sure to add the code podcast so we know you're from this beautiful family. We're on a mission to build the biggest self-help podcast in the world, the most valuable one, and I think you deserve a gift. So that's your gift. And now enjoy the episode. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this year is where it all started. This year is me 2017. That was my first YouTube video ever. I must say, I think I'm better looking now than I was back then, which is good news for all the people here who are afraid of getting older. But I was shitting my pants. I had 300 followers. I was so scared to put my name out there in the world. I was so afraid about what people would say, like even people that I actually like right now in my life, they don't have any meaning or any presence, but I was terrified to post. But I had this calling in my heart already for a very long time to go out there in the world, to have my own YouTube account, to have my own personal brand, to help people with their health, with their mindset, and that's what I started to do. My intention for today is really give you the tools that you need to grow like there is no tomorrow on social media, and I won't hold back. I don't gatekeep, and I've said that 3 times. I think it's very, very clear. What you will learn today are the following things. I will start with a bit about me. You heard my backstory. I will tell you also about what helped me to grow on social media. Then the main part of the training, how to go viral in 2026. I think it's the most exciting time ever, actually, on social media. It's the best time ever to start or to grow, to double down. It has never been easier. How to turn followers into customers. Like, it's one thing to have a big following. It's another thing to actually monetize it. Those are 2 separate skills. One is social media, one is marketing. The other thing is monetization. I will cover both today. The exact strategy my clients follow to attract high-paying clients organically. We will have bonus content at the end. We will have a live Q&A at the end. Stay until the end. This is not my first webinar. I can tell you, usually the most valuable things come at the end when you ask questions about real life situations. So really make sure to stay until the end. I will try not to go over time. Sometimes that happens that I go over time, but we will see. I'll do my best. You are getting the knowledge that Took me from 300 followers when I started. I wasn't born with 300,000 followers on Instagram. That is something that I've created and many other people have created. Like for those of you who are complete beginners, you know, we all started there. We all were there. You will also have to get used to numbers like those, because success in life and success on social media is not coincidence, it's a consequence. It's like either you do it, either you do certain things and you get certain results, or not. It's not a coincidence. It might take time, and it takes different amount of time for everybody. But I have Verena here, who used to be a client of mine. Now she is part of my team. She's an accountability coach in our team. She supports people inside the academy. But I can tell you, if you would meet her in real life, her abs have abs, okay? And that is not coincidence. If you follow her diet and training plan, it's not that it won't work for you and you will, you know, gain 500,000 pounds and be unfit. It is a consequence. And the same is true for social media. So if you're not growing without due respect and love, that is a you problem. And because it sounds a bit painful, but it is true. And I'm not willing to, you know, lie to anybody. If you're not growing on social media, that is a you problem. And if it's a you problem, it can also be a you solution. Don't come up with stories like there is an evil algorithm or something. This is really just a recipe. If you follow it long term, you'll get fantastic results. And you know, if you would have told, I wish someone would have told me that this is possible. I'm not showing this to brag or something. Like, my life doesn't get that. If you know me, then you know that I'm not that kind of person, but I also honestly don't give a damn. There are posts that I've created, like this one all the way to the right. That was a podcast, okay, that got watched millions and millions of times. 34,000 people shared this. I have posts, 20,000 people based on one piece of content joined my community. The highest thing I ever saw with one video, 48,000 follows. That is just wild. And the good news, that's what I said earlier, that is, I'll get back to Lucas in a second and to all the other ones. That is not just here's Agris. I wanted to see Agris. Maybe he's here. I don't know. Kinga will know him. If you know Agris, please let him know in the chat, because he just started an account and he is really implementing. He started his account, I don't know how many months ago, a couple months ago. I had him at a retreat, and it shows that if you post a good piece of content, it can go absolutely viral for anybody. That is something, please, I hope you brought your journal and you can make notes. The follower account nowadays is less important than the content. If someone with a big brand, with a big following, puts out a shitty piece of content, it won't go anywhere. If you, as a small creator, put out consistently high quality, valuable, shareable, viral content, that content wins. That is fantastic news, because when I started, it was the other way around. Those people who were early on the platform, they posted pictures of their lunches, and it didn't matter how shitty it was, and they got massive engagement, where you, as a small creator, you were screwed. So it's a new time. 2026, it's a new time. Content wins. TikTok started with this whole algorithm where the best content wins, that grabs the most amount of attention. And Instagram and all the other platforms are now catching up, because their game is attention. And I want you to get the attention, because I usually attract people in our calls, in our communities, that are good-hearted men and women who create amazing content. And I'd rather have them or have people consume your content than some cigar smoking guy with 50 Bugattis in his garage telling small kids to, you know, this is the version of success. I rather have people there who create actual meaning and help people like you. I hope that's you. So that is great news. If you follow those recipes, if you follow those tips that I'm telling you today, you can scale your business to places where you would have never thought you could. Like Lucas, if you're here, let us know. He is a legend. I love this man. He, I think at this point, tripled or quadrupled his following, celebrated his first 10K month. Verena, you could probably tell us more about Lucas, because he was in an accountability group with Verena, such a sweetheart. Katharina went from pretty much few hundreds to over 10K. She's part of our academy. I could go on forever. You'll get the recipe that enables me to grow by over, at the moment, like over 20,000 new people per month. It enabled me to go from being like, I grew up in Germany, but I think I can still say we kind of we had barely enough to have food. I'm super grateful that I was born and raised in Germany, and that I had enough to, go to school, but we barely survived. We barely had enough. To now being able to say I have a 6-figure per month income, that is just wild. I wish back then someone would have told me when I started, because when I started, I had no fucking idea in fact, that was the number one question people would ask me, but how will you make money with this? I'm like, I have no fucking idea, but I'm listening to my intuition. I'm listening to my heart. I'm going to figure it out. One of the most beautiful things about personal brands and being a business owner is you are in control of how much money you make. There is no cap. There is no, like, in this company, in this position, this is as much as you can make. As a business owner, that's fully in your control. Can be scary when you start, but that's the beautiful fucking thing about being a business owner, about having your own brand. There is no cap. My name is Axel Shura. In case you didn't know, you know. Actually, my whole name is Shuravlov, but many people have difficulties pronouncing that name. And so at some point I decided, you know what, I can't listen to that anymore. It hurts in my ears, especially when Germans try to pronounce that second name, because I have an immigration background. My parents are my siblings were born in Uzbekistan. My mom was from Russia, and then they migrated back to Germany. I had some German roots, hence the German accent. I own a retreat business. I own a podcast, a health membership, a coaching business, and I do a gazillion things, and I love to do it. I'm a manifesting generator for my spiritual people here, and manifesting generators, they have a lot of different passions, and that's me. Verena, you okay? Wonderful. Mega. She also has 50,000 things she does. That's also why probably one reason why she does CrossFit, because you do so many different things. I love Bali, Spain, and new to my heart is Cape Town, where I'm sitting right now overlooking the ocean. And I told you, I wish I could post that video here and you could see it, how incredibly bad I was at creating content. You see a post here that I created, and that's the kind of post I created back then. Foods with more vitamin C than oranges. I think there's also a post of me just taking a selfie with cauliflower, just for you to understand where I'm coming from. We all, those of you who are already successful here, who already have a big brand on social media, don't worry, like, you will learn new things. But I can guarantee you, for everybody who has done something meaningful, we all had to overcome the stage of sucking at it, being bad at it. Everybody. If you learn how to ski or snowboard, you will know. The first time you get your ass on a snowboard, you fall and you fall and you fall. The same is true for anything that is new to you when you start something. For those of you who are beginners, I hope me sharing myself in very interesting clothes will encourage you to dream big. At this point of my life, I'm a best-selling author. I get to live my absolute freaking dream life every single day, and I wish for you to get to the same point. It's one of those sentences, actually 2 sentences, that you want to write down and remember for the rest of your life. Number 1, people dramatically overestimate what they can do in a few weeks. Like, oh, in a few weeks, I get my social media following to 10,000. And they completely underestimate what they can do in a few years, let alone in a decade. People dramatically overestimate, and when I say people, I mean you, dramatically overestimate what they can do in a few weeks and underestimate what they can do in a few years and even few decades. Okay, I almost reach a decade on creating content, on posting online. Just for you to understand, that's a decade. I've been going to the gym for more than a decade, for almost, we're getting close to 2 decades. Fuck, I'm getting old. With that level of commitment, you get to start. Most people are willing to commit to studying something just to please society and their parents, but are not willing to commit their dreams. I call dreams goals and I schedule them. But that can't be the mindset. You cannot come into the game of social media and say like, oh, I'm going to give it a try for 2 weeks. The word try for me is a swear word. Like either you do something or you don't. It's not like I'm going to try to get flowers for my partner on Valentine's Day. What do you mean try? Either you do it or you don't. Sometimes it takes trial and error, but if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, that can't be the mindset. Like you can't be one of those try people who never, actually commit to anything. That doesn't mean that it always works out in the first place, but it means you're going to do until. You're going to try until. You're going to learn. Punch me for using the word try. You're going to learn until you're going to adjust. That was the word. You're going to adjust until you get there. I tell you, I have a podcast. I'm interviewing smartest people on planet Earth, successful people. They all have the same mindset. It's the until mindset. I'm going to commit. I'm going to take action until I have what I want to have. It's inevitable. That's the kind of mindset for today, the future, and I hope for the rest of your life. So how to go viral in 2026? Let's start with 6 keys and the bonus key that will tell you how you will go viral in 2026. Number one thing is, the number one key is shareability. Shares matter more than likes. If people share your content, the odds of it going viral are very high. Duh, very obvious. Shareability, and there is a reason why I mentioned this at the first place. Number one is key. So what makes content shareable? There is this one reel. I don't know if anybody saw it that I posted. It's a brilliant podcast that I did with a guy called Gabriel. He's fantastic. Love this man. It was shared 25,000 times. You can go watch that reel. What he says is that your brain, that your heart has neurons, that your heart has over 40,000 neurons, and it develops before the heart, before the brain. So your heart is first and then your brain comes. So many people were like, fuck, this is new, this is wild, this is so crazy, people need to know. And so they click share. What does that mean for you? Obviously, the next time when you create something that is relatable, create something that is like, wow, the world needs to know this. You have all the answers in that chat right now. I will give them to you, but you gave me the answers. You already know. It expresses a feeling I can't put into words. That could be something. It has a wow factor. Like the world needs to know this. The example I just gave you with those 40,000 neurons. It's a statistic that people need to know. Then some of you also said memes. Memes are very widely shared, and memes can be a way, or something funny can be a way to connect with people. that strengthens the connection. Like in the reels that I share are mostly paddle reels, and I share that with my paddle friends. Why? Because we have something that we can relate together, and it strengthens our connection. Has a clear target person. That's also something that you can do when you create content, which is like saying, send this to someone who, send this to the most loving person you've met in 2025, for example, was a trend that I saw. Short and simple. That is one mistake that many of us do, something that I can do much, much better. One idea instead of 15,000 different ideas. So if you have speaking reels, if you share content, focus on one idea, on one emotion that you want to get across. One idea, one emotion. That means when you create content, ask yourself, how do I want people to receive it? How do I want them to experience it? What kind of emotion do I want to trigger? Is it you want to make them laugh? Is it because then the content looks much different than when you want to deeply freaking inspire someone to change their life? Is it that you want to make them cry? Intention really, really matters. So before you create content the next time, okay, please do the following. Pause for a second and write down your honest intention with that post, or with that YouTube video, or with that podcast, or with the chapter of your book. What is the intention? Create with intention. And as a business owner, it also means intentionally, let's be honest, it also means to find clients, okay, or to attract clients, or to sell that book. But get very clear about your intention. Why do you do it? It starts with a wow beginning, like something that is crazy. We're going to talk about hooks in a second. Plus, make sure there is something that means I want someone else to see this because it's so outstanding, it's so funny, it's so touching, it's so helpful, it's so important. It's so good, the whole freaking world wants to see and share this. And that is also, I wish I could go much deeper into the mindset part, but then we will be sitting here until 6 a.m. Bali time. But most people are aiming so fucking small that they don't even understand or don't even see how much potential there actually is. And the truth is, everybody here has enough story, enough skills, enough heart to help and reach millions of people. That is the truth. Your infinite potential. Like every single person that you see here was once just a wild, hot idea. Some white fluid turned into a human being. That's how much is possible. But if you aim so low and like, I want my first 100 followers, or like, I think it's also aiming low to have all there is like a 10K month. I think like this is just where it gets started. You have so much and you usually get what you aim for. Just saying. But back to the training. I think I made clear what makes something, and you made clear that you understand what makes content shareable. Honestly, you put it in the chat. You already know. So create content that is shareable. Just that piece of advice already will help so many, because most people just post because it's part of their to-do list and they just get it out of the way because, they've read once that posting on social media will help you grow your social media. That is such a lie. Partially. Because if you just post shit on social media, nothing will grow. If you only post garbage content, nothing will grow. So actually creating with intention, with value, with energy, then stuff grows. And then it's important to consistently learn and make better. But don't just post for the sake of posting. Like I see so many people posting on social media and I'm like, what was I can tell this was just lazy, not wanting to actually take a bit of time for your community. Second key, I hope you appreciate my tough love here a little bit today. It's very important when it comes to social media. Key number 2, fast hook or you have no chance. Museri, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, into the chat his Instagram. He's the head of Instagram. He tells you basically what works on social media. It's not that I'm pulling this out of my ear or it's my opinion. Those are facts that I'm delivering. This is the head of Instagram posting all the time about what works, what doesn't. And he says you basically have 1 or 2 seconds to earn attention at the beginning of a piece of content. That is true, by the way, for long form content like a podcast or YouTube video. YouTube, the first 5 seconds, most important part of the entire video. Instagram, where it's even faster, you have maybe 2 seconds. So you need a good hook. You need something that hooks people, that catches their attention. And there are different hooks. There is a text hook, there's a visual, like a visual hook, there's an auditive hook. Someone from our academy, and it feels like today, Verena, I'm just sharing the people who are in your accountability group. She's part of the academy. She, I think, joined us last year. She's amazing, and she made this video. It's pinned to her profile about hooks. I think this video, if we can zoom in, can we zoom? Yeah, we can zoom in. I don't know how many millions of views it got, but she basically understands, explains hooks, visual hooks, auditive hooks. You do something with your hands. There is a reason why there are all of those female creators, doing makeup when they start their reels. This is something like, oh my gosh, what is going on? There was a reason why this trend was started. Okay, so you want a hook at the beginning. The first couple seconds matter the most. What do they see? What do they hear? So you want to grab attention. First couple seconds going to be key. If you're on LinkedIn, the first things they see, they read, key. Before you even make the decision to spend your time, before people make the decision to spend their time, they read headlines. That's just how it works, whether you like it or not. So that stuff really, really matters. So go back to your content, or the next time when you create content, ask yourself, what is my hook here? How do we start? Most important part, whether you like it or not, that is just how it is. I find it even true when you, or we can see that with podcast data, what you hear first, especially if it's a new podcast, it's going to be very important. So make sure that part of your content is amazing. If the content is amazing, usually the watch time is also amazing. Watch time is king. Do people watch this all the way through or even rewatch it? If you get someone to rewatch your content, the odds of it going viral, very, very high. What makes you rewatch a piece of content? It's just very freaking good. There's not much waste of time in between. There are no empty spaces, empty cuts, or if there are empty spaces, it's intentional. That person gets straight to the point. Or for those of you who are not just on Instagram, because this is not just Instagram, or it is part of your routine. I'll give you an example. I've done Wim Hof breath work, that video on YouTube that has like 72 million views. Probably 1 million views are from my side. At least. Think about it. It is something that became your routine. And there's not much, wasting time. It's helpful, right? It's valuable. And it's something you can tune in, like use that for yourself. It can you can even do it on a podcast, like meditations, like there's so many yoga teachers here. Those kind of things, those are things that have, if you do it well, high retention rate. But the key ingredient here is do it well. So have a high standard. Don't be a perfectionist, but have a high standard when it comes to your content. And it's a never-ending journey of learning and making it better and making it better and making it better. If I go back to my podcast 2 years ago, I'm like, Jesus Christ, cringe. I feel like, I don't know if anybody has seen the Grammys and Bad Bunny when he reacted to when he won the Grammys. I don't know. I don't think anybody from my team. Christine? Oh, thank you. I don't know if anybody here saw that moment, but he was like doing like this. When I go back to my old content, I'm like, and that's a good sign. That's a sign of growth. Okay. You've developed. And that is something we keep doing forever. We keep learning, we keep making it better. My content now is way better than 2 years ago. And that is also why I love having all of you here, because it's a never-ending journey. Watch time is king. So make sure your content is so freaking good, surprising at times even, that people want to watch the whole thing or even multiple times. This is a bit of a bonus. When I was done with the presentation, I was like, I want to give you guys a checklist. Take a picture of this. Because I won't go through all of those things again, but I wanted to give it to you, the checklist. Number one, start with a hook, pattern interrupt, bold text, movement, something that keeps people there, okay? Keep attention until the end. Fast pacing, or what I mean with fast pacing is more that I don't want you to just, when you do a speaking reel, imagine you just talk like this. And you kind of look somewhere down to the floor. Imagine I would do this whole presentation like this. Hi, guys. Today I'm very excited to be here with all of you. And today I will share with you how to go viral on social media. Thank you for being here. You would be like, what the fuck? Wake up, Axel. So when you speak, when you create, make sure that you put energy into this. Make sure people share or save. We talked a lot about shareability. That works for strangers, not just followers. We'll talk about trial reads in a second. Feels human and original. Your voice, your POV, you. One thing, we were adding a couple of profiles here. One thing that they all have in common, and they're all successful on social media, is they are themselves. They show their weird, unique way of seeing the world. Lucas is there with his obsession about matcha and like really being himself. And people will be drawn to that. So the last part is really, really important. Be you, be outstanding. Be a pattern interrupt, not just the same thing we see all the fucking time. Be a pattern interrupt. Like when you are really authentically yourself and you are not so freaking afraid of what will people say, then this happens automatically. Like I'm a massive pattern interrupt. And the older I get, the more mature I get, the more I do the inner work, the more I become a pattern interrupt. P4, if you see that a format is working well, stick to it. If you see a spelling mistake in this presentation, throw it out of the garbage. I just found one. I found already so many. I don't care. If you see that a format is working well, stick to it until it's not. If you get the feedback, if you see a post is getting better engagement than other posts, keep the format, make it even a bit better, but build on it. Don't just go back to like immediately to something new. If you post it and you see something is getting way more engagement, stick to it. For me, for example, it was, I got this piece of advice. This key number 4 is from a couple that I'm blessed to call them my friends, Mari and Jake Snow, because I posted, I was their neighbor, and I posted a transformational video, and it blew up, and they were like, Axel, stick to it, post more. And I was like, won't my community be bored of it? They're like, hell no, your community will tell you if they're bored of it. So if a format is working, build on it until it's not. Key number 5, trial reels. Maybe I'm the 15th person who tells you to post trial reels, but maybe, hopefully I'm the last person who tells you, and you start. This is a screenshot that I took from my trial reels. You will see some of them go absolutely nowhere, and some of them go into the millions. You can post content to an audience that doesn't follow you yet, basically new people, and it can blow up if the content is good. That is an insane opportunity. It's basically, in the eyes of a marketer, everybody will say that it's like free advertised money. And anybody who's not taking advantage of it is, it's like saying no to delicious free hummus when you enter the supermarket, like home cooked by me. It's like wild. Okay, so really use that tool. If you don't want to do it yourself, let it do your VA. If you're not there yet that you can afford a VA, you gotta do it yourself. But it's such an amazing opportunity. Like when I came across trial reels, I'm like, this is ridiculous. This won't stay forever. This is an insane opportunity for people to do it. And I tell you, only 10% of people usually do it when I say it. I hope that you're part of the 10%. And on trial reels, you can experiment with new things. You can post up to 5. It used to be unlimited. I sometimes posted 10, 15 per day. Now they put it down to 5 trial reels per day. You can technically post something that you haven't posted before, but you can also recycle content. That's what my team is doing for me. Like, I'm not posting that all the time myself, which is like we see reels that have performed well, and then we recycle it. We change the music, we change the hook, we change something, because it looks like when you post trial reels and you just post the same thing over and over again, the algorithm catches that and you will be restricted in your trial reels. So don't do that, but use that opportunity. You know, I can even post content that I wouldn't usually share with my existing audience, like paddle content, or something where I'm not sure that it's something that I want to test, and it just such a big opportunity for those of you who have trial reels activated. I'm aware it's not 100% of the population, but it's the majority of the population. And if you don't have trial reels activated, now as an entrepreneur who's resourceful, you have 2 options. Number 1 is lay on the ground, whine, cry, and say, I don't have trial reels. Or what is the other option? Option number 2, you are resourceful and you make sure that somehow you get access to trial reels. And I saw people doing exactly that. And if that means, that's my kind of mindset, if that means that I have to find someone at Instagram who works there, who does it for me, if that means that I have to get meta verified and get someone for them to enable me trial reels, I'll do it. Do you see the difference in terms of mindset? One is like, just, oh, I don't have this. The other one is, how can I make this work? Learn from them, see what performs well, and create them intentionally. Hear the same thing when you create content. Do it with intention and be honest. Sometimes it's also a post just to convert, to tell people about your lead conversion event, to tell people about the book that you released. Think about the intention. To key number 6. It is called social media, not solo media. It's called social, okay? So that means you can be social on social media. You can collaborate with others. It is one of the smartest things that you can do. Collaborate with other people in your space. And then, you know, beginners would say like, oh, but I have only 1,000 followers. Who will collaborate with you? Well, guess what? People with 1,000 followers. And then together you have 1,100 followers after you collaborated together. And then for those of you who are bigger or who have bigger audiences, you know, collaborate with people who have same size or even a bit bigger size audience. But even just the idea of being social, I would like to introduce into the world. One of the best things, if I look back in my own journey, was surrounding myself with people who are ahead of me, serving them, giving them value, and collaborating with them. What I did when I started my brand back on during those days, there was no reels or something. There was either you had followers or you don't. I went to Facebook communities, to Instagram communities, and I answered questions of people who asked something about nutrition, about fitness, just for free. I just did that. That's how I grew initially. It's social media. It's about caring. It's about, you have a community, you have people you follow. And sometimes when I hear people talking about social media, it's, whew, it's like, imagine this would be your community. Your community would be in one room with you, and you would tell them how you think about creating content for them. Imagine if social media, if Instagram would be your partner, your romantic partner, if you would be in a relationship with social media, what would that relationship be like? Would it be a roller coaster relationship? Would it be a toxic relationship? Would it be a beautiful romance? Would it be a committed relationship? What would it be like? I would say it's most days. Sometimes I have even people here who have success, who have a terrible relationship with social media, both in their private life, but then also in their professional life. And it goes often, not always, but often hand in hand. Social media is a tool. People who demonize social media need to also demonize all other kinds of media. And social media is not necessarily bad, not necessarily good. It can be bad, it can be good. You need to be like, social media saved and changed my life in such a positive way. My Instagram feed, if I open it, it is more, if I'm being honest with you, it's just paddle, okay? And I love it. I love opening my phone. I love consuming. Obviously, I'm not sitting there the whole day just mindlessly scrolling. You need to approach it with a certain attitude and certain intention. But whatever your relationship is at the moment, look at it honestly. What you did, I love it. Some of you said joy and connection. Some of you said toxic. What would need to happen to transform that? And what I think it's going to be the answer for many of you is changing your whole approach. Fall in love, okay? Fall in love with your community. We are not just talking about some numbers. We're talking about real people. And that's how I'm able to show up almost on a daily basis for the last, 7-8 years. Because I genuinely care about this community. I care about the people. I create for them. I don't want anything from them. I want to create something for them before I ask for anything. So fall in love with your community, fall in love with your customer, and I will tell you, all the rest will be a byproduct. You will have a strong freaking community. But it starts with you turning this relationship, this toxic relationship that you have, turning it around and making it beautiful, romantic, caring, loving again. And it often also means including others, co-creating, creating posts together, meet other creators, learn from other people's successes, okay? Modeling. I don't mean modeling like taking photos or, being a model. Modeling is a concept in NLP where you basically find, like, if you want to get somewhere, if you want to learn a skill, if you want to achieve something, find someone who has achieved that and more and see what they're doing. Learn from their patterns. If you want apps on your apps, find someone like Verena, figure out what they're doing to get there. If you can, obviously way faster, is hire them as a coach. Like if I want to learn how to snowboard, which I did, I can do it by trial and error myself. Or if I can, I hire someone who can teach me, someone who knows. Same is true, and I'm so happy that many of you start to play paddle. Many of you get a paddle coach, which is like, hell yes, that person can save you a lot of time. So learn from people on social media, whatever space you are, find people who have what you want to have and see what they're doing. See how often are they posting, what kind of posts are they doing, how do they monetize. Learn from that. Modeling, it's called. Key number 7, picture perfect is over. I mentioned a couple earlier, Mari and Jake Snow, fantastic Instagram profile. One of my, like those, I consume everything from them. One thing they do so incredibly well is being authentic, showing the positive sides, showing the challenges, showing authentically. Today she posted that she has, that she's shitting herself on the toilet because she has, you know, I don't know if there's something like, you guys know probably Bali belly, you've heard, and there's something like this in South Africa and Cape Town. She has Cape Town belly. Like, you don't need to tell people about your poop, but what I am trying to get across is that you are authentic, that the times of picture perfect are over. People want that relatability. People want to see that you are a human being. That's when you will get most engagement. When you're really authentic. People want real emotions. Don't think you need to, you know, speak or act professionally in a certain way to get a certain amount of followers. You will see the earlier you show your true self, and for if that's funny, crazy, over the top, be that. Because you will also then, it only makes sense, you will attract people like that, or people who tolerate that. And that's the kind of people you want to have in your community anyways. That is something that clicked in me. The first couple of years, I thought I need to be a certain way. I need to hold things back. And then my friends actually told me, like, Axel, in real life, you're so much funnier and less serious. Why don't you show that version? Well, because I was scared that I will be rejected if I show that version. And that's many of you. Screw that. Vulnerability, write this down. Vulnerability is the new currency. You are in full control of what you want to share, but I can tell you vulnerability works. Not just in business, but also in life. That doesn't mean that you need to share every single drama that there is in your life. Share the lessons you learn from overcoming certain challenges. But something I did, you know, I showed my face when I had no eyebrows, no hair on my head, going through cancer. Well, I can promise you that took a bit of, that was vulnerability from my side. And that built a connection to my community, to you guys, that I would have not created with nice, just nice looking recipe videos. That is some real life stuff that we're all going through. What I want you to realize is the authentic you is the you that we need to see. How you speak in real life, best case, that's the kind of way you speak also on social media. Don't think you need to fit into a certain box. Otherwise, you'll be a copycat cat, and you will leave a lot of impact on the table. I'm going to summarize those bits for you. Feel free to take a screenshot as well. To go viral on social media in 2026, you need shareable content. You need a fast hook or you have no chance. You need content that will be watched with high retention rates. Watch time is king. If you see a format that is working well, stick to it. Use trial reels. Really, like everybody, please, 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 please commit to trial reels. Be social on social media. Vulnerability is the new currency. Show vulnerable content. I talked with you about how to go viral in 2026, why going viral looks different now. Now I also want to talk about the monetization part, how to turn followers into paying customers. That is a separate skill. Growing on social media, one skill. Many people are good at that, and then they suck at monetization and vice versa. That's why I'm teaching both. How to turn paying customers, how to turn followers into paying customers, not just likes. The short answer is conversion events. Okay, you need great conversion events. Most people, what do? They say, I have a offer, I have a retreat, I just posted in my story, and then I expect everybody to buy, and then nobody buys, and then that person beats themselves up and never tries again. That's most people. That wouldn't work for anybody. Unless you have like a very, very strong community. Conversion events. You will need conversion events. That can be free trainings, that can be webinars, that can be challenges, or a shorter form of program. Comment to access an event. Like you create a post, you've seen this 1 million times. Do it as well. Use ManyChat. That's an automation tool where you can say like, at the end, comment XYZ to get access to this free training or to this program or to this event. It's basically an online or offline taste test. If I look at brands who do incredibly well, they all do conversion events. Mostly free. Sometimes it can also be paid in a low ticket where you don't need to think much to, it's a couple euros, but they have conversion events. An example could be how I lost 10 kilograms in 2 months while eating chocolate every day. That could be a good hook. That is a fantastic hook, by the way. And now if that would be a short form content or long form content, same start, you grab a bar of chocolate, you have apps on your apps, and you bite into that chocolate and you say exactly that. That could be an example, right? I have a lot of fitness coaches here. That would be something that would work. I felt creative and I saw a chocolate cake in front of me. I was sitting in a cafe and 2 golden retrievers. So I was like, can't really think of anything for dogs. So let me work with the chocolate cake. And then at the end, you can say comment cake to access my free webinar where I teach you exactly how to do that. That would be something that would work. Then you host a conversion event, like a training or a program. Many people also, when they work one-on-one with people, they have this first initial call. That in itself is a valuable call. Everybody says like, the first discovery call. When you do that, make people understand how much value it has. Don't just sell as a like annoying call. Sell it as a strategy call. Set it as like a value, like you're paying with your time. Like this is worth a lot. But that is a conversion event. So from content, from organic content or paid content, same thing, you send them to a conversion event. Then you add a call to action. That can be a sales call. That could be a ask to buy. This could be pitching an offer. But you will need a conversion event in between. Conversion event, by the way, can also be something like there is an app, for example, that there is Netflix. Everybody knows Netflix. They sent you to a free trial first before they ask you to buy. That is their conversion event. Every year, if you're in the personal development bubble, the biggest people, Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins, he just did one. He just hosted a 3-day event for free. Not only because he is a loving and kind person, also he's a loving and kind person, but they also know it's a conversion event. After that, people will say like, fuck, this really feel like I feel different. Let me work with that person, or let me not work with that person, right? That is the idea. But most people don't even commit to a conversion event because they have all sorts of stories. They try one time and it didn't work, or whatever, it didn't work how they expected. Oh, I'm giving up. This doesn't work for me. No, it's like going to the gym for the first time. Like it's gonna, you will have to learn a little bit. Or best case, you join our academy later on and then you get my recipe and you do it the first time immediately correct. So let me hop over to more details. You will see a couple of faces because I love to work with real life examples. One thing that I even love more than just working with real life examples here in those webinars and those trainings is also once they are done with the transformation, ask them if they can support others who are going through the same journey. You see Verena's smiling face here. She was one of the first people to ever have the trust to invest into, that was my first business coaching mentoring a couple of years ago. And I tell you, those of you who have successful businesses already, we will always remember the first people, right? We will always remember the first clients. So thank you for your trust back then, Verena. Verena, long story short, completely transformed her life. She was did a little bit of CrossFit sessions here and there, and turned that with the help of us. Obviously, she did all the work, but she implemented our teachings. Scaled to her first 10K month, and is doing incredibly well. Does what she loves to do. She also, and I want to see a lot of love for Verena in the comments. What she did is wild because she used to be a teacher in Germany, and we have something, I don't know what the English word is. Verena would be probably able to help me. How do you say in English, verbeamtet?
Yeah, I was a civil servant until last year for over 16 years, and I just quit.
Civil servant. It's basically civil servants in Germany. They get like very good VIP treatment. They do everything to keep them in that system. But Verena said, like so many insane benefits that you basically say no to. But Verena said, you know what, I'm going to follow my passion, my dream. There is a bigger calling than this. This doesn't feel right. There is something bigger. And she went for it. And I want to see a lot of love for her, hearts, whatever, send it to her way, because I know she had a very tough year. Her father passed away. She had a big surgery, and is one of the people that I show up for, like the kind of people like you. And I'm so incredibly grateful that back then she showed up. I did sales calls back then. I didn't have Kinga, I didn't have Christine, I didn't have Nicole, I didn't have anybody. It was just me. I think I had one VA. She joined the sales call. She was so nervous about just, booking that call with me. And we had an amazing time, amazing transformation. And later I was like, Verena, it would be amazing if you join our academy as an accountability coach and help others. You've heard from Lucas today, or you saw Lucas, Melly. They were all part of her accountability group. Meaning, I managed to hire Verena as someone who already walked the path so she can support you. Because she's someone who knows what it's like to go from 0 to 10K months. And I think now, without saying too much, without giving too many details, I think, well, or maybe let's unblock this whole shame part. Verena, what was your single best day in terms of revenue? It's like a health and fitness coach.
Yeah, I had like one day last year. At one point, it was 11K in one day that I closed. And I just posted in the chat for some inspiration, not to brag or anything, but I've had a few 10K months in the past, or 10 plus K. And this January, the last month, was actually my best month ever. So I quit school at the end of last year, like in November. And this month, I had my first 23K month ever.
What?
Yes.
Mega. Congratulations. And that is also why I share numbers, why I talk about numbers, because I also remember Verena being scared about, quitting her full-time job, her career. And I'm like, no, you got this. Like, you can really do this. And that's the reason why I share numbers, because you need to believe, you need to see that it's possible. Otherwise, you won't understand it. So massive shout out to you, Verena. I just want to show everybody what's possible if you.
Thank you for the support.
We have Eleonora here, who's probably not here because she has a cute little baby. Her goal was to scale from 5K to 10K. She went to 30K with us in the container. Now she's in her second container, 50K per month, and even sold a 6-figure offer. That is what's possible. Okay. And she had a similar moment. She was scared that after becoming a mom, she won't be able to do as much business. She worked less and made more. Often when we do the things that we are most afraid of, life turns around. We have Steffi here, who's currently in Zimbabwe, in Africa, hosting her own retreat. I'm currently working on getting her as part of our accountability team, because I want you guys, if you join our academy, to have real people who know what it's like to go through your journey and help you, support you, not just people who've never done it. Okay, so here is the setup that they all, in different shapes and form, use. But I keep it simple, and that's one of my mantras. I keep it simple. Complexity is the enemy of execution. So keep things simple. You create content through online or offline work. You find eyeballs, the people, your ideal clients. That's step 1. Okay. Step 2, you send them to a conversion event. You do a workshop online, offline. You do a one-on-one call online, offline, but you give something in advance before you ask. And then, and only then, you pitch your offer. That is how it works. That's how they all do it. That's how Verena does it. That's how Tony Robbins does it. That's how Netflix does it. You give before you ask. Most people ask before they give anything, and so it doesn't work. You really need to become a giver. I'm not an expert when it comes to the Bible. My grandma always made me read it. Good book. Same like social media. There's a lot of good things. There's a lot of things where I'm like, but I do remember give, and you shall what? You shall receive. So I hope this turns you into a giver. imagine what's possible if you really freaking commit for the next 6 months. I have the tools that you need to solve your problem and to grow a $1 million personal brand. I've done it for myself. I've done it for others. What's holding you back is usually fear, BS. BS stands for belief system and bullshit, and the past. I don't want you to just go back to normal after this masterclass. I want you to take action. You basically have 2 options now, which is try yourself. And there's some people who are not at the spot where you can invest any money. I hope, or not I hope, I know I delivered you the tools. I want you to implement. I want you to go for it. If you have the funds, if you can invest in yourself, you're going to waste time because it would be faster. It's like you can learn how to ride a bicycle in 2 ways. You can try yourself by trial and error, and some of you have to do that. If you don't have resources, if you don't have funds, or the easy way, you find someone who knows how to ride a bicycle, you learn from them, you have them by your side holding you, so you save time, and you also know it's kind of working what I'm doing because you're following a certain strategy. And that is exactly why I created this academy. Axel Schura Academy, Evergreen Blueprint, High Ticket Blueprint are our 2 main products that people want. Evergreen Blueprint's all about how to create programs that transform lives and create income while you sleep, while you are at the beach. It's like a product you create once that you can sell for the next couple of years. High Ticket Blueprint is for those of you who want to work one-on-one with people who love working offline or online directly with people. I'm someone who likes both. Remember, manifesting generator. I like both kind of worlds. I created both of those products. We have many, many more things, but you will see a couple of insights here. Maybe I have some of my clients. I already see them in the chat who are reaching out and share about their experience. And I can tell you they are all amazing, sweet people. That is one of the biggest benefits that you get from joining our academy. Obviously, all the knowledge, all the things that I'm doing, and guest experts as well. This is Yasmin Kaila, one of the most brilliant people on social media. We have an entire class with her about what is she recommending and how our program basically works. Well, you will see it. The first step is always a discovery call. You see Christine here, you see Verena here, you see Kinga here, you see Nicole here, you see Esther here. We have wonderful people, and we have salespeople who sit down with you and they actually see what fits you, or are we a good fit? The amount of time that someone said that we say no, people talk about making 10K months. I think last month we said no to more than 10K revenue where people were ready to buy, but we said it's not a fit yet, or it's not a fit. And we are honest, it's not a fit because it doesn't align with our values. Like I'm someone, I only work with ethical brands. I only work with ethical people who want to actually make the world a better place. I'm not going to help anybody to sell more leather bags. That's just not me. So they sit down with you and they evaluate your situation, what fits you best. Then you get an onboarding, your own accountability group. Maybe Verena, maybe someone else, maybe Esther. We have amazing people. And I see you almost every single week in a call. I host every Saturday, with a few exceptions when I have paddle tournaments or when I take a break. I host weekly sessions where I look really at your situation. Here is what my team called me crazy for. I'm going to drop it right now. If you book a call today and join the academy, you get a luxurious deep dive with me in person on top for free. We have one in Bali, we have one in Mallorca, we have one in I think Greece later this year. We have amazing things that are actually worth more than just joining the academy. That's for how much we usually sell them. That is something you probably say, hey, Axel, I've heard before. You've done it, for example, just for a German container. Yes. So here's what I even put on top. We are gonna host a day, and this is a surprise for all of my clients who are already part of the academy. I didn't tell them yet. You are invited to a 2-day event in Barcelona. Like everybody who's part of the academy, you are invited to a 2-day event in Barcelona, in Spain, where all of our clients meet, where you have guest speakers. I invite the best of the best. I will be there, where we make everything to help you grow even more. We'll celebrate you. We will bring incredible people together, and everybody gets this as a bonus. If you're already part of the academy, you know that already of me. You will always get privileges. You are in already. But those of you who are not part of the academy, you get that ticket completely for free. On top, you'll get to spend 2 days. We have the dates already in May, shortly before my birthday. 2 days with the most amazing people in, I would say, in the online business world. And we'll have a freaking blast. So if you join that, if you book a link right now, you get access to this bonus offer. What's also on top, and that is also something we've never done before. I hope you can remember all of those bonuses. Otherwise, people will, Kinga, Christine, Nicole, they will remind you. If you book a call already, just as a thank you for your trust, we'll give you 3 months of free membership, Fire Within membership. That's my health membership, where you get my meditations, my visualization practices for free if you book a call. Only book a call, though, if you are someone who is able to invest money, time into themselves. Like if you are completely broke, with all the love, consume my free content. I love you. I care for you. I cheer you on. I know one day, if you truly commit, you'll shake my hand and you will say, Axel, we did it. But that offer is then not for you. Not yet. So click on that link that you see in the description below. I cannot highlight often enough. I don't do a good enough job. I hope Kinga will help me here in a second. I don't do a good enough job to usually say what we as a team create an offline experience for you and the value of it. I've done some wild things in the past. I flew monks, not saying that I'm doing this again, okay? Expectations, still keep them low, but just so you get an idea. We had a business retreat in Mallorca. I flew in a former monk, okay, to teach people inner fulfillment. And they blew their minds. We do the wildest events, and I hope for you to take advantage of this insane offer, because usually the price of it is more than just joining the academy. We have Bali in March. We have Mallorca in May/June. We have multiple options. We have, here's a typing mistakes. We have Greece in September. The guys will walk you through all of the bits, or unless you really want to come to Spain, where I live in September, and I'm sure we can make something happen. We have plenty of options this summer. If you are willing to be in Europe, or if you are in Europe, it's going to be a freaking blast with many opportunities to join us. You see a couple of pictures here, and yeah, I would love for you to be part of it, to see you, to meet you. And during those deep dives, I become your business partner and help you unlock the next level, whatever your next level is.